Hey everyone, I'm Kathy and this is Kathy's Vegan Kitchen. Welcome back. Today we have a surprise. Paul is going to be pickling in the kitchen. Pickling Paul. He is going to make sauerkraut and it's super easy, but it's his thing, so I'm going to let him do it and I am going to be videotaping him today.
Okay, to start with, I don't authorize the term pickling Paul. I don't recognize that as my nickname. But we are going to make some homemade sauerkraut today. Super easy ingredients: cabbage, salt. That's it. So first thing I'm going to do is it's actually a fermented sauerkraut, so it's got some good health benefits for your gut. And I've got these. I picked these up on Amazon actually a little while ago, a couple years ago. Actually, they're pretty good. They're called the Easy Fermenter. You screw it on a wide mouth ball jar, and it does the fermentation for you. In 15-30 days, we're gonna have some sauerkraut, but we'll get to that later. So. Other important notes is that there is a salt to cabbage ratio that's kind of critical. There's a kind of a rule of thumb out there. So you want to weigh your bowl. You're going to put your cabbage in, and then weigh what your cabbage weighs, and then 2% is the amount of salt you put into that. And we'll get to that later. So I got a little scale here. So first thing I'm going to do is there's two ways you can make this too. You can cut this thing all up by hand, put it in a bowl, make the magic happen. Or I'm going to use this food processor to get more of a uniform size for the cabbage. So I'm going to cut this up and get it ready for the food processor. We'll be right back. Okay, I've been chopping them up in the food processor. You have to kind of slice them pretty thin to get them through the little chute here. But so I'm going to dump this one. You can see it's nice uniform size in there for our sauerkraut. Like I said, you can do it other ways where it gets more stringy if you wanted to cut it yourself, but we're going to go this method today. So I'm going to chop the rest of these up and then I'll move on to the next step. All right, cabbage is out of the food processor. It's got a nice consistency of size, which we liked. And again, to get the salt to cabbage ratio, it's 2% of your weight. So I weighed the bowl first, then I put in the cabbage, subtracted the weight of the bowl. So that gave me my cabbage size, which was, this one's a little over 2 pounds. And then for the 2% of that, it came out to about 20 grams of salt. And we're using a kosher coarse sea salt here, and roughly a tablespoon of salt. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to sprinkle the salt over the cabbage. Get it in there all the way. And then you're going to give it a massage for about 5 minutes with your hands to get that salt kneaded into the cabbage. You'll end up seeing a liquid down below there. And then once we're done doing this for about 5 minutes, by the way, Kathy's very jealous of this cabbage right now, getting a massage. But you'll see some liquid on the bottom down there. And we're going to let it sit for put a towel over it, let it sit for about 2 hours. And then we'll move on to the fermentation stage. Okay, you can see inside the bowl here, I've given it a massage. You can see the amount of liquid that's been pulled out from the salt. So now we're going to let this sit for about a couple hours. Put a towel over it so no bugs or anything get in here. And then we'll be back to, bugs. Well, you never know. That's why. But also, I didn't mention this. I pulled this off of the cabbage. And what that's going to do is when we do put this into the ball jar, it's going to sit on top with a weight on there. So it's going to keep all this cabbage below the liquid, because you don't want any exposed food above the liquid, or you can get some bacteria in there. So this will help control that, just a little trick. Okay, it's been sitting for a couple hours. We're going to take the towel off. This is another essential tool I forgot to mention. It's a muddler. We're going to push this, as we're putting the cabbage in here, we're going to keep compressing it so the liquid will rise up, as you see, as we put this into the jar. So we'll start that process now. Try not to be too messy. So we're going to put some in there.
Are you messy?
I'm messy. You should have saw that after the food processor. It was like a circus was in here.
Yeah, it was like a circus.
With all the monkeys.
You should have videoed it.
Right. Let's see, this is what I'm talking about, the muddling. So you're going to push this down. You kind of see the liquid coming up. So that's where all the liquid's going to come from as you smush this down as you enter. So I'm going to put all this in here then. I'll come back when it's full and we'll show you the result. Okay, now I'm muddling this sauerkraut in the jar here, getting nice and compressed down in there. So it's bringing all the liquid to the top. And then once we get pretty good spot. I'm gonna add that extra piece of cabbage there, keep everything below it.
What's it supposed to look like?
There'll be just liquid on top. And I've got these weights here. These glass weights will go on top of this cabbage to kind of hold everything down. So I'm about there. You can do it right now, probably. Okay. You kind of want, if you can, get anything off the sides here, because it will create some mold. A little bit's not bad. So we got my liquid down. Now I'm going to put my leaf down in there. Then I'm going to add my weight. So now all the cabbage is underwater in liquid. So now we put the easy fermenting top on. Where's the pump? All right, I forgot a part. There's a pump that comes with this kit. There's a little valve on top here you can see. So you're going to want to like just put it on there. And realistically, one or two, it sucks all the air out of there. So there's no air in there now. And you can, so then we're going to let this sit in like a nice warm place for about 15 to 30 days. And you want to give it a taste somewhere in that time frame to see if it's to your liking. If not, you let it sit long. You put the lid back on, take some air out, and you put it back on the shelf. And then once you're done and you're satisfied with the flavor, you want to take it off and you put a regular ball jar on, stick it in your fridge, and it's good for probably a month if it can last that long. Also, this thing has a nice little feature. I can set the date. Today's actually the 31st. So I can put the wheel on the 31st, and then I'll know exactly, if you're making a bunch of these, you'll know exactly when this one was bottled and ready to eat. So 15, 30 days, I'm going to give it a shot and see how it tastes. All right, we'll put a link to this product that's on Amazon if you need. There's other ways you can do this fermentation. There's like a little airlock bubble you'll see online. Other ways to do it. So we'll probably maybe sample this in one of Kathy's other recipes if she makes a Reuben or something like that with sauerkraut. But if you like this recipe, please subscribe and make some comments below. We'll see you soon. Bye.